know that feeling when you wake up in the middle of the night and something just feels off? Your room looks the same, everything's quiet, but your gut is telling you that you're not alone. You scan the darkness, and that's when you see it. A figure, just standing there in the corner, watching you. You want to move, to turn on the light, to do anything, but your body won't listen. And the figure, it doesn't move either. It just stands there, staring. I want to talk to you today about something that's been freaking people out for decades. Shadow people. And look, I know how this sounds. I get it. But stick with me here because the stories I'm about to share with you are all real accounts from real people. And honestly, they're way creepier than any horror movie. So let's start with what people are actually seeing. Thousands of reports from all over the world describe the same thing. A tall, dark figure shaped like a person, but with no real features. No face, no details, just this solid black silhouette. Sometimes it's wearing what looks like a hat or a hood. People usually catch them in the corner of their eye, standing in doorways, at the end of their bed, or just lurking in dark corners. And here's the really weird part. Most of these people had never even heard of shadow people before they saw one. They weren't thinking about it. They weren't expecting it. It just happened. There's this woman, Sarah, from Ohio. Back in 2019, she woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't move at all. She looked toward her bedroom door, and there it was. This tall, black figure just standing there. She said the fear was overwhelming, like whatever this thing was actually feeding off how terrified she felt. It stayed there for what seemed like forever, just watching her, and then it slowly faded away. Just like that. Gone. Then there's Marcus from London. He saw the same figure over and over again when he was a kid. Always standing in his doorway, always at night. He never told anyone because, who's going to believe a kid talking about shadow monsters, right? Years later, he's scrolling online and finds these forums where hundreds of people are describing the exact same thing he saw, the exact same entity. And then there's the Hat Man. This is probably the most reported one. A shadow figure wearing what looks like a wide-brimmed hat. Thousands of people have seen this specific figure. Same hat, same presence, same terrifying vibe. How does that even happen? So what the hell are these things? Well, there are a few theories floating around. Some paranormal researchers think they're beings from another dimension. Not ghosts of dead people, but something completely different. Something that was never human to begin with. And if you think about it, shadow people don't really act like ghosts. They don't try to communicate. They don't seem to have any unfinished business or message to deliver. They just watch. Kind of like we're the experiment and they're the scientists taking notes. Now, science has its own explanation. Sleep paralysis. Basically, your brain wakes up before your body does. So you're fully conscious, but completely unable to move. And during these episodes, your brain can create some seriously realistic hallucinations. That actually makes sense, right? Except here's where it gets weird. If it's just random hallucinations, why are people who've never heard of shadow people describing identical figures? How is the Hat Man showing up in Japan, Brazil, Canada, and everywhere else with the same exact description? That's a pretty specific hallucination for people who have zero connection to each other. There's another theory that's honestly pretty dark. Some people believe shadow people are drawn to negative energy, like they're attracted to fear, sadness, trauma. They feed on it or something. And a lot of people report seeing them more during the worst times in their lives, after losing someone they love, during severe depression, in houses where bad things happened. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Now, if you've seen one of these things, you're definitely not alone. But there are some patterns worth knowing about. Most sightings happen between 3 and 4 a.m. People call it the witching hour or the devil's hour. Supposedly, this is when the veil between our world and whatever else is out there gets thinner. I don't know if that's true, but the timing is consistent across reports. Almost everyone says they felt watched before they actually saw anything. You know that primal feeling when the hair on the back of your neck stands up? Our ancestors developed that instinct to sense predators. But what if we're sensing something else entirely? Here's something really creepy. Shadow people sightings tend to cluster. One person in a house sees them, then suddenly everyone in that house starts having encounters. It's like once you become aware of them, they become more visible to you. Or maybe they want to be seen. Who knows? People also report weird stuff happening with electronics. Lights flickering for no reason, phones suddenly dying even though they were fully charged, devices turning on by themselves. This stuff happens right around the time people see shadow figures. So what do you do if you encounter one? First, try not to panic. I know that's easier said than done, but people say that being terrified seems to make them stick around longer, like your fear gives them something. Turn on the lights if you can. These things are almost never seen in bright, well-lit spaces. They live in the darkness, in corners, in those in-between spaces. Some people have had success just commanding them out loud to leave. Others use prayer or whatever spiritual protection makes sense to them. Better sleep habits can help reduce sleep paralysis if that's what's happening. Some folks say removing negative energy from their lives helped. And honestly, keeping a light nearby when you sleep isn't a bad idea. Look, we might never really know what shadow people are. Maybe they're just our brains playing tricks on us, creating patterns in the dark. Maybe they're visitors from somewhere else. Maybe there's something that feeds on fear. What I do know is that the experiences are real to the people having them. The fear is real. And somehow people all over the world, who've never met each other and don't speak the same language, are seeing the same thing. But here's what gets me. It's not really about what they are. It's about why they're watching. What are they waiting for? What are they learning? What do they want? So tonight, when you wake up at 3 a.m. and you get that feeling that someone's watching you, well, maybe someone is. Or something is. Have you seen a shadow person? Drop your story in the comments. But fair warning, talking about them might make you notice them more. Or maybe they'll notice you. Either way, thanks for listening. And hey, sleep well tonight, if you can.